fame isn't always as glamorous as it seems, some of Hollywood's biggest stars landed career-defining roles, only to later regret taking them. From blockbuster franchises to award-winning performances, these actors have opened up about the roles that made them famous, but also brought challenges, frustrations, and choices they wish they could take back. Imagine delivering the performance that made you a Hollywood star and later wishing you'd never done it. Mark Wahlberg earned critical acclaim for his role as Dirk Diggler in Boogie Nights, a movie that showcased his range and solidified his acting career. But over the years, Wahlberg has expressed deep regret about taking the part, especially after reconnecting with his Catholic faith. He's even admitted that he prays for forgiveness for playing an adult film star, calling the movie one of the poor choices of his past. While Boogie Nights launched him into serious acting, it's also a role Wahlberg looks back on with discomfort. Imagine becoming the face of one of the most iconic characters in cinema and ending up wanting to kill him. Sean Connery skyrocketed to fame as James Bond, starting with Dr. No in 1963, but his feelings toward the role changed drastically over time. While the franchise made him a global superstar, Connery struggled with being typecast and eventually grew frustrated with the endless spotlight. By the time he filmed Diamonds Are Forever, his frustration peaked. He openly admitted he hated playing Bond. Despite being grateful for the career boost, Connery spent years trying to distance himself from the suave spy who made him famous. Imagine playing one of the most beloved characters in movie history and wishing he'd been killed off sooner. Harrison Ford became an icon as Han Solo in Star Wars, but he never felt as attached to the character as fans did. By the time Return of the Jedi was filming, Ford wanted Solo's story to end. He even asked George Lucas to kill him off in the third film. While Lucas kept Solo alive back then, Ford finally got his wish decades later when the character was killed in The Force Awakens. For Ford, Han's final moment wasn't about passing the torch. He admitted he was simply there to die. Imagine starring in a billion-dollar franchise and openly admitting you don't like it. Robert Pattinson became a global sensation as Edward Cullen in Twilight, but he's never hidden his complicated feelings about the films. While the franchise made him one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces, Pattinson often questioned the story's logic and even called the plot strange. Over the years, he's admitted that he probably wouldn't have enjoyed the movies as a fan and struggled to connect with some aspects of his character. Despite his mixed feelings, Twilight launched his career, proving that fame doesn't always come with fond memories. Imagine starring in one of the biggest movies of all time and wishing you could change almost everything about it. Kate Winslet became a global star after playing Rose in Titanic, but the role came with regrets. She disliked her own American accent, felt her performance was awkward, and even called the experience overwhelming. Behind the scenes, filming was intense. At one point, she nearly drowned during a water sequence. Winslet has admitted she wouldn't take on such a long and exhausting shoot again. Even though Titanic made her world famous, it also left her with memories she'd rather forget. Imagine signing on for a show you believe in, only to realize it wasn't the story you thought it would be. Shailene Woodley rose to fame playing Amy Juergens on The Secret Life of the American Teenager, but she's been open about her regrets. Woodley initially loved the first scripts and thought the series would honestly portray teenage struggles. However, as the show progressed, its message shifted, becoming more preachy and judgmental, especially around teen pregnancy. Woodley felt trapped under a 6-year contract and struggled with scripts that no longer aligned with her values. Despite the role boosting her career, she's admitted it was one of the hardest experiences of her life. Imagine landing the role that launches you into global stardom and losing it just as quickly. Megan Fox became a household name as Michaela Baines in Michael Bay's Transformers franchise, but her relationship with the director soured fast. Fox was openly critical of Bay's directing style and even made controversial comparisons that caused major tension behind the scenes. As a result, she was dropped from the third film, Dark of the Moon. Looking back, Fox has admitted that refusing to apologize for her comments was the low point of her career. While Transformers made her a star, it also became one of her biggest regrets. Imagine starring in one of the most beloved musicals of all time and secretly calling it The Sound of Mucus. Christopher Plummer became a Hollywood star after playing Captain Von Trapp in The Sound of Music, but he was never shy about his feelings toward the film. Despite the movie's massive success, Plummer often criticized it as overly sentimental and even joked about how gooey it felt. He admitted that playing Von Trapp was one of his most challenging roles, not because of complexity, but because he struggled to bring any humor to such a serious and emotional character. For Plummer, fame didn't erase his frustrations with the role. Imagine earning an Oscar nomination for a role, only to wish the story had been told differently. Viola Davis gained critical acclaim for her performance as Ibeline Clark in The Help, but she has expressed regret about the film's perspective. Davis has explained that while the movie highlighted the lives of black maids in 1960s Mississippi, their voices weren't truly centered in the narrative. Instead, much of the focus shifted to the white characters, leaving key parts of the maids' experiences unexplored. While The Help boosted her career and visibility in Hollywood, Davis has openly acknowledged that it didn't tell the story she felt needed to be told. Imagine starring in one of the most beloved movies ever and walking away from its sequels. Crispin Glover became known for playing George McFly in Back to the Future, but he's been open about his issues with the franchise. Glover disliked the film's ending, believing it sent the wrong message by tying the McFly's happiness to wealth and material success. After clashing with director Robert Zemeckis over his concerns, Glover chose not to return for the sequels. The studio used a look-alike actor for his character, which sparked legal battles and long-lasting tension. To this day, Glover keeps his distance from the franchise that made him famous. Imagine landing the role that would make you an icon, only to wish you'd never taken it. Carrie Fisher became a global legend as Princess Leia in Star Wars, but fame came with regrets. At just 19, she was told she was too fat for the role and struggled with the intense spotlight that followed. One of her biggest frustrations came during Return of the Jedi, when she had to wear Leia's now famous gold bikini. Fisher hated the costume and found it deeply uncomfortable, but she got some satisfaction when Leia killed Jabba the Hutt while chained to him. For Fisher, that moment was as liberating behind the scenes as it was on screen. Imagine taking a role just to buy a new car and ending up part of one of the biggest horror franchises ever. Betsy Palmer, known for playing Pamela Voorhees in Friday the 13th, never expected the movie to become a cult phenomenon. She only accepted the role because she needed money for a new car and assumed the low-budget slasher would quickly be forgotten. Palmer even admitted she thought the script was terrible and believed no one would ever see it. Instead, the film spawned a massive franchise, turning her character into an unforgettable horror icon, something Palmer never imagined when she signed on. Imagine landing the role that makes you famous, but wishing you'd never taken it. Tina Louise became a household name as glamorous movie star Ginger on Gilligan's Island, but she's been open about her regrets. Louise feared being typecast from the start and nearly quit before filming even began. Although she stayed for all 3 seasons, she avoided every spin-off, reunion, and celebration tied to the show. After Gilligan's Island, the quality of her film roles declined, and to make matters worse, she's revealed she never earned any royalties from her most famous role. For Louise, the show that brought her fame also came with lasting frustrations.